I was asked on a national podcast, what is Auburn waiting for regarding the decision with Hugh Freeze?
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Hopped on with Spencer McLaughlin over at Locked On College Football, our national college football show. Of course, anytime something bad's happening in Auburn, he wants to chat about it. Here's that conversation.
It's right into it, Zach. What is Auburn waiting for to dismiss Hugh Freeze as the head coach?
I think it depends on who you ask. I mean, from the outside looking in, it certainly seems like John Cohen, Auburn's athletic director, is not ready for him to go. It does seem like everyone else appears ready for it to go. I was surprised that he was not let go this past Sunday. I was genuinely surprised. Auburn's in a unique spot where they have a clear-cut interim in DJ Durkin, who's been a head coach before, who's been, an excellent defensive coordinator up to this point this season. He's been great. He's been great every step of the way. But they have not pulled the trigger yet, Spencer. And so I think after every loss, it'll be like, okay, is this the one? Is this the one? We'll see if it eventually happens.
Here's what I wonder. Is John Cohen actually looking at Arkansas with an interim/interviewing head coach in Bobby Petrino and saying, hey, Hugh, if you go win that game, your job is safe? Like, is that really what we're doing here?
So I think there's a few things at play here. One is a report from the Auburn 247 site that came out. This was before Missouri. I think it was Friday morning before the Missouri game, before Auburn lost in double overtime to Missouri, their fourth straight loss of the season, where the administration and leadership doesn't see Hugh Freeze as being 0-3 at that point in conference play because the officiating has really screwed them. I'm like, okay, if you want to give them one, but like how it's looked.
It's been bad. It's been bad.
Yeah. The officiating has been bad, but the offense has been bad too. And like I picked Auburn to go 0-3 in that stretch and then start a winning streak against Missouri. They almost did it, but still every step of it has looked worse than I envisioned, despite predicting them to lose those 3 games. So I think that's part of it is like, okay, do you fire him for losing against 4 teams that are like legitimately better than you, but it was so close and you look so bad and it was so close? Do you penalize him for that? I'm not saying I agree with that, but I do think there's an argument there. The other side of it is, let's say you are leadership at Auburn and you want to go for a home run hire, whoever that might be, whether it's James Franklin, whether it's, Cignetti seems off the table, but, there's going to be names that pop up that people want.
John Summerall. Yeah, for sure. If you make DJ Durkin interim and he beats a beatable Arkansas team, he beats a beatable Kentucky, Auburn's got the talent to beat Vandy. Am I predicting them to beat Vandy? No, but Auburn historically has done really well in Nashville. And then Mercer, and then all of a sudden you go 4-1, you lose to Alabama in the Iron Bowl. Or what if you beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl? It's at home. Weirder things have happened at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Then you have to hire DJ Durkin, and they may not want to do that. Okay, I think that's a valid reason if that's the thinking.
But
here's the thing:
he is a serious candidate, which some people believe that he is. I think he should be. And what if he goes out there and nothing gets better? The defense gets worse because he has to focus on other things, and you lose these games that you probably should win, and then you can't hire him. So I think there's arguments. I think there's arguments in several different directions on this. We continue our conversation with Spencer and Auburn next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Mazda. Mazda crafts cars for those who do more than simply move. Mazda delivers confidence with every ride with more IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than anyone else. You can make everyday drives feel like anything but. From smooth handling to intuitive controls, with all-wheel drive standard in every crossover SUV, you can drive with confidence through almost any season. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall is the place for any Auburn Tigers fan wanting to buy something for themselves, for a family member or a friend. Doesn't matter what it is. Alumni Hall has it. If you think of an item and you can slap an Auburn logo on it, yeah, they probably got it. 3 great physical locations in Auburn, Opelika, and Huntsville. And, of course, also online at alumnihall.com.
Here's the other thing that I wonder with Auburn, or really that I want to point out, because I know you said, like, you predicted them to go 0-3 and then start the winning streak against Missouri. I just don't view Auburn as a program that should, in year 3 of a head coach, be okay with being behind. Yes, you're playing tough teams. I'm not saying you should expect to go 3-0, 4-0 or anything like that. Why is Oklahoma ahead of you? Why is Missouri ahead of you? Why is Texas A&M ahead of you? I can forgive Georgia. Okay, sure. It's Kirby Smart. It's Bulldog. I can forgive that. But that the other teams are also in those dogfight games and coming out winning, you know what it reminds me of? Scott Frost at Nebraska. Man, they were close for a long time. And Scott Frost looks like he's got it going in the right direction with UCF, and credit to that. But he had to go at Nebraska because it was, you can't just be close or almost there. Year 1, okay. Year 2, maybe. But year 3 and beyond, I'm sorry, this is a program that expects to win and has been waiting to win for quite a while.
And has put the resources down in order to win. This is a really good football team when it comes to the roster. Did you miss on quarterback? It seems like it. I'm also not sold it's all quarterback. I don't think the scheme is great, but it could be quarterback. It could just be you missed on Peyton Thorne and Jackson Arnold, and you're not ready to go to Ashton Daniels yet for whatever reason. But clearly something's wrong, and you're right. And something that Hugh Freeze's messaging has been that's driving Auburn people crazy is how close we are. We're close. I could be the guy to fix this. And it's like, you just shouldn't be close anymore. Spencer, you're 100% right on that.
Yeah, and again, expecting perfection, I don't think is realistic with the schedule they have, but it just should
but Auburn should have gone 2-2 over those 4 games.
Yeah, 2-2, I think was the minimum expectation in year 3. But let's talk about this Arkansas game briefly, because
no longer favored.
No longer favored. Do you think that is an overreaction from the betting public to make the Razorbacks as the favorite? I mean, it's in Fayetteville. Arkansas, speaking of teams that are close, Arkansas has been really close the last couple weeks. And think about this. You hear a lot of talk going in every game about the motivation and where a team's head is going to be at. Nobody in the SEC as a coach wants/needs a win for the sake of his job security more than Bobby Petrino. Hugh Freeze's fate, I think, is already sealed. Bobby Petrino views himself as the interviewing Arkansas head coach. I think Petrino needs this win if he wants to get that title starting in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, the good news for one of these teams and the bad news for one of these teams is one of them's going to close. One of them's finally going to close and get a win because they've kind of been in similar situations. The game individually, they've developed differently. Arkansas, it's all fireworks. With Auburn, it's all just, wrestling in the mud. We'll see which one of those happens this weekend. Because it's strength on strength and weakness on weakness. And typically both defenses benefit from that, whether it's strength on strength versus weakness on weakness. So, I'm expecting Auburn's defense to play well, but I'm also expecting Arkansas's defense, who hasn't stopped anybody this year, to stop Auburn's offense, who hasn't been able to score on anybody. The only team that has not scored 20-plus points in SEC play, with an offensive-minded coach, with a former 5-star quarterback, with the best receiving core in the SEC from a talent perspective. It's sad. It's sad, Spencer. Something's got to change. Is this the week where it happens against the beatable Arkansas team? Sure, but your original question, is our friends at FanDuel and Vegas, are they overreacting with making Arkansas the favorite? No, they're not. They're not. I mean, I think this game is a pick 'em because I don't think it's decided by one point. I think you just pick who you want to win. But there's a chance like Arkansas's offense cooks and Auburn just can't keep up with them. Like, I think that's a real possibility. Now, Auburn's done a good job of keeping opponents under their scoring average for the season by a significant margin. But like, if Arkansas scores 28, I don't think Auburn can get there.
I don't know, even against Arkansas's defense, which has been porous at best this year, like, what's your data point of confidence? The Baylor game, which feels like a lifetime ago?
It does feel like a lifetime ago. I think they're similar teams to some extent. I mean, I think Arkansas runs it more. I think Arkansas is better than Baylor is. Can't look at wins and losses, but if you watch them play, like, I think they're better. I think Taylor Green makes you have to defend him differently than what Sawyer Robertson is doing. But look, I've said this for a few weeks now. Like, I hate this matchup for Auburn's defense. As good as Auburn's defense has been, this is a different animal. This is a different style of offense. It's a lot to prepare for in a week. And because of that, like, I think Arkansas beats Auburn this weekend.
One of the most fascinating coaching matchups in all of college football. One guy trying to work his way in, one guy probably working his way out.
Thank you always to Spencer for having me on the show. Thanks for making Locked On Auburn your first listen. Make Locked On College Football your second listen today. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And if you're tuning in on audio, please subscribe and leave us a review. It helps the show out a ton. It's going to be an interesting next few weeks, to say the least. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.